Welcome to IQ HitList Special. I'm Vishwa Sadashivan. IQ HitList Special is Inconvening Questions, one-on-one, extensive interview that explores the views of an individual you want to see. My guest today is a person who Singaporeans know only too well, yet don't know so much about. Proud Singlish speakers would credit him with inventing this fantastic phrase: terrible, horrible, and vegetable.
Okay.
To describe a person or situation that's simply beyond hope. Gone case. Now, those of you who grew up in the 90s will remember him on Chinese TV, cross-dressed as a forgetful granny. This granny poked fun at the funny characteristics of Singaporeans, idiosyncrasies. Indeed, his movies examined society's obsession with money and grades, and it sparked numerous serious debates, even in Parliament. Now, one of the debates is said to have led to the EM3 stream in schools being abolished. His recent series of films, Our Boys to Men, were a big hit, not only for the storyline, but for most authentically capturing what happens behind the scenes in national service. He's not only known in Singapore, but in the region as an actor and director. Clearly one of the most talented and accomplished filmmakers Singapore has produced. Several of his films have enjoyed considerable success in the region, with many of them dubbed the quintessential films of Singapore. For his contribution to the arts, he received the coveted Cultural Medallion in 2005, and for his contribution to the nation building, he was honoured by the state with the Public Service Award in 2004. Yet, life wasn't plain sailing for this creative genius. He has had his fair share of down-in-the-dump moments. Behind the comedic persona is the serious mind, a social commentator perhaps, who wants to open up the space for discourse. Well, I have 50 minutes to help us understand who this man really is, where he came from, why does he do what he does, and where is he headed. His name is Liang Po Po. Some people even call him Jack Neo. Hey, how are you, Jack?
Oh, okay. Wow.
How you actually ended up, in the entertainment industry is all by chance, right?
Okay. Wow, this one got to start off from 1976.
Once upon a time.
long time ago. I remember I received my GCO level result. That's my first setback in my life. And I passed all the 5 subjects. But no matter how I act, I still assist 20 points.
20 points.
Meaning I cannot go into pre-U, And of course I can go
but you pass still.
I pass.
But
this is the most strange system in the world, I don't know, that I pass. Meaning I no need to stay back and restudy but you pass. But you cannot go to pre-U. Meaning I don't know, I'm hanging around, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, so in fact I was quite lost, and the rest of my friends actually passed. And those results are usually worse than me, and also pass and go to pre-U. And then I said, hey, I'm the one who left behind, and then wow, that's quite sad. But I seriously I don't know what to do. And if you don't go for further study, and the NS letter will come.
Yeah.
Okay. Although that was 1976, and I got the letter. But at the same time, I also saw the newspaper. I read the newspaper, and the newspaper is looking for officer cadet. So I said, wow, very interesting. I wanted to, I see the qualification.
So you see Jack Neo, officer cadet. Oh.
Yeah, I straight away I got the image. I'm wearing officer. Like look very garang. I said, let God decide lah. If you are supposed to be an officer, no matter how you become an officer. If you're not, then so after that, I go back about 1 or 2 months later, I receive a letter. I cannot forget the letter when I open. You know what the letter say? I regret to tell you. Government letter. Yeah, government letter is say, I regret to tell you. That means it's a bad news. So I no need to read, because I go and check dictionary. I say, I regret to tell you. I say, no need to check the rest already. That means regret means gone.
Yeah.
So very, very disappointed, because I thought, last time when you want to become a tan japing, a regular. Last time as a regular, it's not so not so respectful.
Especially for the Chinese lah. Chinese culture, right?
Yeah. And because we got a name very nice, very bad one called Tan Jia Ping.
Tan Jia
Meaning
Ping.
when outside, you got no other way to make money, and you got no choice. You go into the army, you know. And I even wanted to lower down myself, go into the army, and army also to army. That was really, really sad to me. 2 months later, I received another letter. The letter said, I said, why send me again? Is it sent wrongly or anything?
SAF also.
SAF, government, MINDEF, you know. So I open, okay, you know what the letter say?
I'm pleased to.
No, after several consideration. Something like that, I can't exactly remember. But yeah, I'm pleased to, we would like to, So,
Officer Cadet School.
And I was like, wow. And I tell my mother, I say, Mom, I think army want me already this time. They want me to go for the training and become the officer. Then my mother is, okay, very good, just go. So I remember the day, my enlistment day was 25th July, 1976. No, 1977.
77, okay.
1977. So, 6 SMC.
6 SMC.
6 SMC. So I remember I went to the CMPP, and then all the 3-tonner is there already.
Waiting to
and a lot of people standing there, but I'm alone.
bye.
I'm alone. I told my mother, no need lah, I'm a big boy already, so it's okay, I can handle myself. I don't know what they do. They just asked me go to the 3-tonner, submitted my red IC, and then I just followed the 3-tonner. First time I take a 3-tonner, quite scary. The protection is not like now. Last time it's like anytime you can fall off from the. So it's like you go, and then you slowly from the city, slowly you go to getting a very ulu, and then you can, the kind of smell, very funny smell, Yeah. Yeah, I know. Where am I? He said, this is safety. You remember the safety got a very funny smell. Smell become very special to me now. Once I got the smell, safety.
Memories.
Yeah. So when last time you take bus, you don't have to open your eyes, you just go, then you start smelling. Okay, safety is around here. in OCS day, it was really interesting. Because I'm a Chinese helicopter, and seriously, I think I'm one of the worst person who cannot speak proper complete sentence and in English, and I got to go for this kind of to me it's quite tough training, because when every time the officers start talking to me, instructors start talking to me in English, I can show you this is exactly what I heard, Understand? Yes, sir. I don't know if everybody say yes, sir, so I follow. So I just it's exactly what I mean, because I don't understand
and
even.
Just like parade, right? For parade, they give command. You understand the command.
Okay, Malay words at least not so bad because simple, short for.
But we all wait for the final command. Final.
Wow. Sing. So you see, this is the kind of life that and then I said, wow, how am I going to go through these 9 months? Because these 9 months is really tough, and I can't even understand the words. But you see, I got a very interesting, good platoon who is actually very supportive, and they treat me like a little brother. You see, I also contribute my portion. For example, I can draw very well. I can draw very well. So when they need me to draw,
you used to be a cartoonist, right?
I was, yes. So I can draw very well. So as an officer cadet, sometimes you have to conduct lecture. And you have to prepare your own training aids, They don't let you, So you have to do your own training aids, so you have to draw. And most of the people cannot draw, but I can draw. I can draw very fast, and for almost 10, 20 people, no problem. My instructor also treat me very well. Although they know that I always got English problem, but they say, and then every time they run, because 7 years old, I'm still a virgin, so I can run very fast. I can run very fast. That's the difference. And because I am young and I'm powerful, I can sing and run at the same time.
Good lungs.
And I can sing very loud. And I always lead the whole platoon sing.
So can you sing a few lines of that song?
Okay. Everywhere we go, people want to know who we are, where we come from. So we tell them we are from Safety, the Bravo Company. And it's right. No sweat. This is lucky that I got passed out, and the rest, some of my platoon mates, they fear. They fear become sergeant. I remember the day, when the result is announced, everybody go to the notice board and see.
Yeah.
And the whole school is about 500 over student trainees, and my position is 29 something. I'm not the last.
Hey, quite good, man.
Quite good. I'm very happy. Then I see some of my people, my platoon mate, they're out, and they speak very good English, and but I think they cannot work as a team.
Yeah.
Last time the assessment is very funny, and I remember the day when we got posted out, we put on the pips, everything, and then this group of platoon mate, they become sergeant, and then I remember they went into the minibus, and then we were like outside, and then they are inside, and then they look at me. Why you stay?
Yeah.
Your English is lousy than me. Okay, so.
So, the last time when we had a conversation, I mean, you shared some of this, and it's wonderful that you're sharing this. And you said, I remember you telling me that this had such an impact on your life.
Yeah.
After that,
you see, because after this
experience in OCS.
correct. This is very important because after this course, when I am so lucky that I'm able to pass out as an officer, I learned one thing, and I think my platoon mate and the rest of people also learn one thing. I think it's the aptitude that, make me pass my test as an officer. It's not so much about you speak very good English. If you got a very bad attitude, that's it. You can be very knowledgeable, but your aptitude is like you are like hero Rambo. Cannot. In army, we have to work as a team, and then I think we help each other, and this is a kind of a spirit that we all enjoy so much. Up to now, my platoon mate, we whole platoon now, we are still in group check.
If you fast forward and come to how you've become a filmmaker, right? A filmmaker needs to be able to tell a story. You obviously are a good storyteller.
Oh, okay.
The bottom line here is, what are some of the stories that you remember the most that you were able to translate to the screen?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think because this is due to the training of Comedy Night.
Yeah.
I think Comedy Night actually also provide me a
Where
very
you
good...
were Liang Popo.
Where, yeah, I actually, before Liang Popo, actually I was with Moses doing a talk show on TV.
Show, yes.
Yeah. And then after a talk show a while, then we become, they give us a longer duration, so I can actually bring in more people. So it become a comedy group.
Yep.
So this comedy group we call Liang Jia Ban. And this Liang Jia Ban actually, because of a few more extra manpower come in, and then we can create a lot of funny role, and also with many people's observation, and then put in their own idea. So this comedy group, this Liang Jia Ban, can actually last longer. We can't believe it. Every week, every Monday, given like 15 to 20 minutes, a comedy skit, and then we last for 10 years.
It's quite amazing, I remember.
Actually, it's really not easy because every week, that means tonight, the show finish, okay, the next week. No, we start meeting next day.
But you write the script.
I was not say but I always come out all the main points, and then we have a script writer, and then also the rest of the member, and then everybody will put in their effort, contribute.
So can you give me an example? Can you remember? Can you give me an example of you as Liang Popo?
Liang Popo is actually very strange. It's also like after we did the show for about 2-3 years, and we found that I think dry off. All the talk show, all the topic, not much thing to do. And a lot of restriction on TV. This one cannot, that one cannot, this one cannot. So all the leftover, not much, you see. So a while later, you dry out. And happens that, because I was still last time when I was still in a music and drama company, every year we used to go to Taiwan for so-called observation trip. Mm-hmm. In Taiwan, they have a 20 music and drama company. 20 music drama company for different forces. And every year, their so-called Double 10, their national day, every year they will organize a competition. So the A group and the B group will fight. And they show their best performance. So we were invited there to actually see the show. So because of almost every year, I'm able to go to Taiwan to observe. So watching the show is at night. But the rest of the time is daytime. You can shop around, go around. And the most amazing thing is that when you watch their TV, the TV program is really happening because they got a few stations. So everybody is fighting for the viewership.
And there was no censorship.
Their censorship is much
Yeah.
lighter than us, and they can say anything. They can say dialects. They can say anything, and they can poke fun a lot of things. So when you see it, wow, then I realized that TV variety show, what we did in Singapore is too stiff, is too not flexible, and over the other side they can have a lot of things. So when I go there to do a lot of observation, and then when I come back, when I got a chance to do the TV program, I said, shall we do this? That's why when I start with Moses, we do the talk show. The talk show format is, they were very popular.
Yeah.
In Taiwan, they are so-called, they are Western restaurant. In Chinese, they say 西餐厅, the Western restaurant. They will invite a lot of superstar, and then when you eat and you see the show. So every night after our MDC show, we will just go because the show always start very late, like 11 p.m. or 12 midnight, But they will create all kind of jokes and it's very, very funny. So all these are the really important influences for me. And
so how did it influence you? In the end, as a filmmaker, subsequently, how did it influence you?
Okay, I think
you had army experience. You had the experience of music and drama, directing on stage.
Correct.
Then you had the experience of TV, right? Acting as
Yeah.
well as scripting and so on.
Yes.
Now, after that is when you went into filmmaking. Right?
Correct.
And I think a major turning point in your filmmaking, where you went into a serious film was Home Run. What was your experience in Home Run? It was an Iranian story, award-winning story.
Correct.
But you very beautifully converted it into, a Singapore story.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember watching it and my eyes welled up at certain points.
Yeah.
It's your timing. You were able to. The dialogue was excellent and the casting was excellent. What was your experience and how did all these experiences, your army and everything else, come into the making of Home Run?
As I said, comedy night actually give me a very good training ground. Training ground to train what? To train, you understand the timing. The timing. For example, this line plus this line, it will become a joke.
Yeah.
So these are the things that we learn from music and drama company time. When I was a drama director, my job is to write script. And then when I write script, I don't perform, but I let my members go up and perform. So when they go and perform, I will observe. And I will give them the line, that line, this line, And then when they deliver the line on the stage, and you hear the punch, sometimes you hit, sometimes bingo, you hit.
Yeah.
Then I say,
And
then
comedy is very difficult.
Yeah, and then this is the so-called the theory that I learned.
Yeah.
So you know the theory. You know which part that the audience like. What kind of jokes you will make audience laugh.
Yeah.
So when I use it in my comedy show, same thing. Bigger crowd, bigger group of crowd. That was only army about 1,000 soldiers.
yeah.
This one is like a few hundred.
You're talking about which one?
I'm talking about the comedy night. Comedy night. So when I do it live, because last time we don't have pre-record.
Yeah, all live.
All the shows are live. Live from studio one. Remember?
Yes.
You agak you know that okay, these jokes will work, this will not work. And at the same time also live from studio you used to have a live audience. So the live audience is really important to us because now whatever thing you say, they will respond immediately.
So you know.
The kind of timing. So it is a lot of a good practice for me. So although I am fully involved in the script writing, and they don't really pay me the script writing fees, but I think what I gain is bigger than the money, because it's a method. It's the you say formula, a method or theory. I think I learned all this, and when I apply to my movie script, and it helped me a lot.
So Home Run is a serious movie, right?
Yeah.
There were some funny parts, but Home Run was a serious movie.
Okay.
But almost all your other movies were comedies, right? How was it different to produce a serious movie in terms of timing, scripting, casting, compared to the funny movies?
Yeah. You see, when I want to produce a movie or when I write a script, movie script, I normally I would not say I want to do a comedy show, because if I say I want to do a comedy show and I will not do my script well, because you will start thinking of this part comedy, this part comedy. So the structure of the story will become very, very funny. It will not be very nice to see. So every time I want to do a movie, for example, I'm not stupid. I never said this is a comedy show, but instead I said I just want to tell a story about three boys, a story about one fat boy who is like a mother's son. He only listened to the mother. He dare not to make his own decision. I wanted to. That's why another character is like also listen to the mother, but cannot study, and he try very hard. He also cannot get a good result. The other one is like his family is very poor, and he has got no time to study. That's why his result no good. So basically, I set all this character, and then I put in the story, and then when you have the character, and the story will flow by itself,
So you start with a character.
Character. I think character is usually very important, because with the character, you can actually let the character lead the story. Rather than you come out a story, and then you put in the character. That is a bit difficult, because once the story is there, the character inside is a bit difficult, because it's a so-called restricted. You cannot do this.
So you're saying that when you did all this, when you're planning for a movie, do you think of a message?
Normally, no.
No.
So a lot of people thought that your movies always got message. Is it because you plan? No, actually I tell you, when I like for example, A Boys to Men, what kind of message to put? I don't know. To me, I think that first again I say I got a rich man's son, Joshua, and then I got a Abing, William, and then I got a very garang sergeant. So all these characters are there already, and then we start thinking of like usually this kind of people, what kind of story will happen to them, So from there, And
so do you brainstorm with your team?
Yeah, I have one or two scriptwriters that we used to brainstorm together. Yeah, but I think the most important thing is that when you have all these kind of people around, the message will appear automatically. You see, like in our real life, we never plan any message, but sometimes we see something that very interesting.
And the message hits you.
And it hits you.
Yeah.
This is it.
No, this is very interesting. So So actually, you let it come naturally.
Correct.
So that it doesn't sound preachy, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Like A Boys to Frogman, the story about the wrongfully rightfully wrong.
Yes.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
So that is the part that, okay, of course, in my personal army experience, in army, we wanted to do a lot of things, but a lot of things cannot be done because of the rules.
Yes.
Because you do this, you are going to challenge the rules.
Yeah.
So you cannot do. But sometimes you just feel that you must do, because this is correct. But sometimes,
like how they jump into the sea and went back,
Correct.
Yeah?
Correct. But you see, that's why in fact, this show actually inspired a lot of people.
Yes.
In the army, there are a lot of things say cannot, but you have to do it because it's right.
In fact, you said in one of your quotations, which I found very interesting. Let me read it back to you and tell me. See, you said, as Singaporeans, when we are going to do something, we always got this first thing come to our mind. Better don't do it. It's dangerous. It was very funny when I showed the script to my friend.
Yeah.
My friend, in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., comes to my house because he was very busy and he knew that I was going to start shooting this movie, and he came to my house. He's a very good friend, and he said, "Jack, you better think twice. You better don't do this movie." I said, "Why? You're talking about government. You're going to get yourself into trouble, and probably they lock you up."
Yes. Yes.
So this sort of thing, this is again about wrongfully right and rightfully wrong, right?
Sort of.
Yeah.
But this movie, I remember, this one is my first movie. money not enough.
Money not
One.
enough.
Yeah. When I actually
No,
came out,
you were actually quite critical of the government.
I don't know.
policies.
You think so?
But you didn't mean it.
I don't mean it. But to me, I think sometimes certain things are, as a Singaporean, I think we got the right to say something, you know. But whether they listen or not, I mean, that's not my point, you know. And as a filmmaker, I think certain thing that we found that is not really right, I think we should bring it out. And we are not going to give them problem. In fact, we are helping them to solve the problem. You understand?
Would you say that?
For example,
Yeah.
you know that this thing is not good, but from their perspective, sometimes they are like, maybe they are very busy, they think that this is not important, they just leave it as it is. But the thing is that, if you think that this is very important, you bring it up. You try your way to bring it out, and then let them know. Let them know, probably they say, oh yeah, okay, let's hear. If my point valid, if they agree with what you say, of course they will change. Just like, I'm not stupid, like EM3 system, you know.
How did that come about? What is the story?
Because I have some friend, their children cannot go EM3, and they were very sad. And then also I see sometimes my children study also very tough, so many tuition, and then they don't have their own playtime sometimes, because most of the time it's like, okay, tuition here, after the tuition you go this tuition here. I think something is not right. But in some children, they actually, what if they really cannot study, how? You know, like they already put in their effort and they still cannot get a good result, how? Does it mean that this group of children is going to, is it the end of the world? I don't think so. So I think the movie able to help them to speak something. At least let the parents understand that study is not everything. Result is not everything. Yeah. I think the most important is like my belief in my life, you know. I think aptitude is the most important thing. What is aptitude? Aptitude means that the children know how to study. They know the importance of study. And they study, but they cannot get a good result. You help them. But the aptitude is still, I will try my best to study. You still cannot get a good result. Okay, fine. I think what we taught our children here is that we want you to know if this is important, you must put in your effort. And your aptitude must be right. If your aptitude is not right, then as a parent, it's my job, my duty to tell you. So I used to tell my children, I said, if you put in your effort, if you put in all your heart and do it, you still cannot get a good result. Wow.
So be it.
Yeah.
But I think what you have done here is quite incredible, because they say using humor to change minds, to change mindset.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if I was a government and you come and debate with me in Parliament, you come and debate with me in a forum and tell me all the things that I'm doing wrong. If you debate with me, I will fight you back. Correct?
Yeah.
Because I lose face. But when you use a movie and when you use humor, actually people laugh, but they get the message and they're more inclined to change. Would you agree?
This is what my hope, you know.
But it happened, right?
It happens. Yeah, I do not know what actually they are thinking, but okay, for this streaming system, I will not say it is purely my effort.
No, of course
because you know, same thing. I brought up the problem, you know, and I understand that the problem went into Parliament for a few times.
And PM Goh Chok Tong actually mentioned your name in Parliament and so on.
Yeah.
But clearly, you know, it did have an impact.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, even your Our Boys to Men had a huge impact on young people. I remember I was talking to some of the young boys, lower secondary, who went to watch a movie, and the parents told me that before they watched the movie, they hated army, because everyone must hate army, you see. But after they saw it, they said, "Wow, I want to go and join the army." See, so no amount of the SAF going out there and giving the propaganda made a difference. But a movie like this, realistically done, actually did have an impact. So the big question is, were you sponsored by MINDEF?
No.
Huh?
No,
You sure?
not at all. Yes.
Okay, put up your hand and
Yeah.
Sumpah.
No, actually, basically, we want them to so-called like to also invest and government, they don't do this kind of investment.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing sponsor, they also say no. But I think basically what they help in terms of like providing the
Facilities.
and then some of the training grounds and equipment. I think that is very important.
Yes.
You will never get
The
all this
access.
equipment.
Yeah.
And I think when they allow us to go into certain area for the filming, and I think it's like a win-win situation. It's really a win-win. And I think I'm very happy with the result, that after people watch the movie and they love or they like national service more.
What's the feedback you've been getting?
Yes, I got a lot of feedback that a lot of boys, initially they actually got a very bad impression about the national service, but after they watched the movie, they found that the national service is not so bad. And there are a lot of people, in fact, wanted to sign on. So I'm very happy to hear all this. But I think basically the purpose of doing this movie is not to say who is good, who is bad. I think the most important is that I bring the real situation onto the big screen. When you see the movie, you judge by yourself. And there are a lot of interesting. You see, my story, I'm not lying. I'm just bringing everything real to you. I don't create story. That story is basically what we heard, and then I just combine everything together. Okay, and all of us know that national service is important, and I don't know. I think this is just what I want to do. I just want to tell the truth, and yeah.
So, what would you say would be some of the most important moments in your career as a filmmaker? Some of the most memorable moments as a filmmaker?
Wow.
I mean, you've made so many films, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the most memorable moments?
I think Our Boys to Men 1, 2, and 3 is quite an important moment for my career.
Why?
I think this is the first film that all Singaporean watch together.
Yes.
Because this is something that we all share. Whether you're Chinese or Malay or Indian or you are Eurasian, okay, as long as you're Singaporean, you've gone through the army, you understand. And this is something in common that when we share and we feel that very naturally that we can relate to each part of the story.
In fact, even if you didn't go for NS,
Yeah.
you can still relate.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, initially when we when we plan to do this army story, and a lot of people also say that, what about the girl? They didn't go through army, they will not support the movie, which is totally wrong. Because the girl wanted to know their boyfriend, what their boyfriend doing in the army,
Or
and
their
what
brother, or their brother.
Correct. Their brother, their uncle, they want to know. And even the grandmother also want to know, the mother want to know, what is my son doing in the army? So I think we bring up very realistic portion and let them judge. Yeah.
But were there other very important moments in filmmaking? For example, in raising funds, was it a struggle the first time you started?
Okay. Yeah. You see, Money Not Enough was the...
That was 202, was it?
No, 1998.
Oh,
1998. Singapore film industry is not ready yet. But I just take the initiative because after my comedy night, I've been going on for 10 years, quite tiring. And I plan to do something different, hopefully for the industry or hopefully for my group of people, because I have a group of people following. And then, so I wrote the script. No, I think Eric Khoo, I met Eric Khoo. And Eric Khoo, actually, he's the first one who producing Singapore local film.
Yes.
Okay, with a very, very little budget, but I'm very happy to see, wow, this is a Singapore film. So I talked to him, and I know his dream, and I said, hey, why not? I can help you. Because you do not have the so-called professional talent, like the actor, actresses, and my area I have. So I said, let's work together. And he said, okay. So while he's doing 12 Story, and
You acted in
yeah, I
that,
acted.
yeah.
Yeah, I also bring another girl called Quan Yifeng into this show, and I do not know what is filmmaking. So when I work with Eric Koo, I said, wow, quite fun. Because after that, you're going to see your face on the big screen. It's something that make all of us very excited. So I told my comedy group, the Liang Chiapan, I said, let's do a movie, but no big money. Are you interested? Everybody say, let's go. So I start writing script. And we took 2 years to go around and look for money. Nobody believed in us. Okay, they found that, they firstly will ask you, got car chasing? I said, don't have. Got action fighting? Don't have. Got blood? I said, don't have. Got sexy scene? I said, don't have. I said, how to sell? I said, I think sharing a very true Singaporean story may work. He said, no, not possible.
These are who? What kind of people?
The investor.
Investors, okay.
We go around and then the best part is that after the movie is made, and then they see it, they see the movie, because the first time we produced the movie, and in terms of the technical aspect, it's all quite bad, and sound recording, everything is all not so professional. That's why I'm very worried. And when the distributor and all that, they see the movie, I say, what do you think? Will this movie work? He said, maybe 500,000, the maximum box office. 500,000. I said, wow, everybody are quite sad. That means you're going to loogie, you're going to lose all the money.
Yeah.
And then the boss is like, wow, sweating. But then he said, Jack, this movie is all in Hokkien. It's all like a very down to earth. Our youngsters don't see movie like this. Our youngsters see Hollywood, gunfight. They said, this one is a bit hard. I said, oh, okay. Then he said, anyway, what is your strategy for this movie? I said, my strategy is that maybe the young people see already, they found that because the dialects is inside, and maybe their parents can understand. Maybe they will go back and bring their parents, grandparents and watch the movie. They said, no. The youngsters see the movie, they got no money already. So that's it. They will not bring. I said, okay, never mind, whatever comments. But of course, it turned out is quite shocking to the industry.
What was your box office?
About 6 million.
6 million?
6 million.
And they predicted 500,000.
500,000, yes.
So you made money?
No, I make. we work with the movie company, but the movie company is also running into a financial problem.
Okay.
And after that, it's a long story.
So which was your own money, where you put in your own money and made your film? Which was the first movie?
No, actually, all the while, I didn't put in money because I'm not, I do not have any extra money. But I provide my talents, I come out scripts, and then
so you get paid?
I get paid,
as a director.
And then I go. So at that time, very lucky that Raintree just set up. And our Singapore Film Commission also just set up. So it's like, a right timing. So Raintree set up, and Raintree is also looking for
So
the
which
director.
movie was that?
So the second movie is Liang Popo.
Liang Popo.
Liang Popo, the movie. Liang Popo, the movie. Yeah. And then the movie, not as well as the money not enough, but it's also not bad, about 3 mil. Consider a quite good box office.
So there was a profit?
Again, not my profit.
Yeah.
I'm actually all doing it now for the investor.
Our Boys to Men, is it yours?
Our Boys to Men
Is it your production?
It's my production. But that one also over budget a lot. And in fact, most of the investor make better money than me.
Yeah, because they get the first cut.
Not only that, usually when we come up with a story, when we are able to get enough funding to produce, to start filming, we all are very happy. And if really make money and we can get some, not so bad. Okay. So in fact, Our Boys to Men, I actually use up all my director's fee. Remember the war scene?
Yes.
The Sentinel scene?
Yeah.
That's all my
Gone
money.
already.
Gone. Because when I talked to
The animation.
the producer, the EP, Melvin, I said, I want this one. He said, can, but you have to spend. So, but as a director, you just want your movie look good.
Yeah.
So you actually, okay lah, just do it lah. So I don't know, at the end of the day, probably we get some sponsor on it, but I remember my director fees deducted quite a lot.
So you have a lot of successes, but you're a poor man.
Not as rich lah. Cannot say poor man. Of course, over the year, we here and there will.
So are you a millionaire?
I have to go and check.
So why would a person go into the film industry in Singapore?
Well, I think
because I've been hearing a lot of horror stories. You know, you put in so much effort, it's hard work, people are not prepared to fund you, you know, and then you underwrite all these risks and you produce for 6 months and then it's a box office failure.
Correct. Yes.
So why would any normal person want to go and make a film?
I think the most important thing is that you must have passion yourself. Okay, when passion, I'm talking about, you are not worried about any failure. Just like me, when I start off, you know, I know it's very tough. You know, so like a lot of people ask me, they say, "Wow, now you're very good, you know, you're very easy to get funding." But see, remember my first few movie, it's really really tough. We go everywhere and knock the door, and then people will not support you. So, but the thing is that if you got a passion, you just want to let go. You just want to do it. So why other people should come in to do the movie? If you have the passion and you come in, you don't think I want to make money. You think I want to do a good movie, okay? You can use a lot of method. You know, maybe for the beginning, we didn't use a big budget to produce good film. It is a lot of funny inspiration, and along the way, you know, if you got a passion, and I don't know, somehow, some people will come and help you. You know.
But you need to establish yourself first.
Correct. But you have to establish yourself, and you have to make people believe that your idea is good, and this is a good product. So the people believe you, people will slowly come in and finance you and then to help you. You see, nowadays there are a lot of new directors. They already slowly, it's definitely better than my time. You know, now at least they are a group of investors. They don't mind to invest into the movie, provided you are able to convince them that your story is good and you are able to collect back their money. You know, they don't want to make big money, but as long as they can help to bring back their own investment, I think they are very happy. But of course, a bonus, if you can make big money, of course, is good.
What are your plans in the next 5 years? Do you have ambitions of being in the international league?
Yes. I think my plan is actually two parts. Okay. One is that I wanted to work with overseas filmmaker, and which is I already planned that this year, the other half, like August onwards, I'm planning to go China to do a film with the China movie company. And at the same time, I also hope that I can nurture some of the new directors in Singapore, because I think this industry need quite a lot of commercial director. Because only commercial directors exist, then the whole industry can exist.
Yeah.
You know.
But why do you think a country or society like Singapore needs to make our own films?
You see, Singapore is a very small country, you know, with a very short history. And through movie, we can actually tell people our story. And because if we are able to tell a good story, and people will recognize Singapore more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But if it's so difficult, and we are such a small market, it's very hard to make profit.
Yeah.
So how do you survive? The government can't keep pumping in the money.
Yeah.
Investors, and the economy is bad, investors are not putting in the money.
Well, I think the market, although it's small, but doesn't mean it's zero. In fact, a lot of country, big market, that doesn't mean every one of their movie make money. Even in China, same thing. Only like maybe first 5% or 10% able to make money. And the rest of 90% is all lost. Malaysia also the same. Thailand, everywhere is the same. So Singapore is a small market, but has been proven that if you got a good story, Singaporeans will just go in and support. They go in and support. It's not because you're Singaporean. It's because you got a good. So Singapore, small platform here, you practice. If you are able to gain all the so-called the winning formula, or you know how to handle movie properly, then slowly, of course, you will go out of Singapore. You don't have to leave Singapore behind. You still can continue to do, but you also do the extra one with the overseas.
Let me just move you away from the film industry. You are one of the most passionate Singaporeans I know. In many of our conversations, you talk very passionately about some of the things that you want to see change in Singapore. Can you tell me 3 things that you'd like to see change? Not as a filmmaker, but as a Singaporean, committed to Singapore. You love your country.
I think there are certain things that is always in my mind that I think needs to change. Okay. First thing I wanted to share is about the dialect policy in Singapore. Dialect is a route to Chinese, and this is very important because when you don't speak, slowly you're losing out. It's still a daily language, but I think for the elderly people, so-called our pioneer generation, they actually miss dialects for so many years.
Yeah.
So if let's say, without affecting the Speak Mandarin campaign, you let them have the so-called a program that the language is very familiar by them, and why not? And from 3 to 6, all the children are still in school. Most of children are not back at home. In fact, you play dialect program, you ask the children see, the children will not going to see. So if it's not affecting all this, and why not?
So can you tell us just a little bit about this movie that you're releasing soon?
This movie basically is after Singapore independent.
And it's called Long Time Ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. After his independent and the normal kampong people's life, people may thought that suddenly you become a republic, and then your life is going to change a lot. But actually, no. What I'm going to show is that during this hard time, how government help and they develop. But the story showing is not on the government side. It's actually on the normal kampong family, Chinese family, Malay family, Indian family, how we live together and how we help each other. Okay. It's not a propaganda movie, but basically you're just going to see like a lot of interesting and funny thing. A lot of language that we use, we forgot already, and it's back into this movie. I'm talking about the Chinese Hokkien words.
Hokkien words.
Yeah.
And the old and the market Malay.
The market Malay.
Yeah.
And because Suhaimi is also inside, so he actually he got a lot of market Malay kind of jokes. So it's quite interesting. Yeah. So this is the kind of story I'm talking about. And of course, the hardest part for this movie is the floods. Singapore is moving into a very different era from old time kampong day. Because this time when I do the movie long time ago, and my feeling is very strong.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I wish you all the best.
Yeah.
Jack, thanks for coming on board.
Okay.
I know you're very busy.
Okay.
And obviously your army experience is instrumental in a lot of these stories that you've done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is about survival.
Survivor.
Thank you. That's
Thank you.
Jack Neo, one of our finest filmmakers.
Yeah.
Well, this has been IQ HitList Special. Log in to our website, www.iq.sg, to watch out for our next IQ HitList. Click the links to see other guests who have appeared on our previous episodes. Post your comments on social media and let us know if there's someone else that you'd like us to interview on HitList.